Legendary South Korean artist GD has a new album. GD, otherwise known as G-Dragon or KWON Ji Young, probably pronouncing that wrong. Almost certainly pronouncing that wrong because I'm an idiot. Anyway, his last solo project, Coup d'etat, was a fantastic album, mainly because of its atmosphere and energy. However, this latest project that he's just dropped is much more honest, and it's more about his personal character as opposed to being the G-Dragon persona. Songs like Untitled and Superstar give us a view of his life from his own perspective, and it's very honest, and I really appreciate that. However, the major flaw with this album is there's just not enough songs, and not enough songs I like. There's only 5 songs, and of those 5, I only like 3 of them really. Anyway, let's get into the review of the album. We're going to be going in order of appearance on the album, so one by one each song. So to start off with, we have the intro track, Middle Fingers Up. This is an anthem song. It's got a very nice chorus and these plucky piano chords throughout. The song has a very upbeat feel, and GD actually writes about his love for his home country of South Korea. He has a real emotional connection to it, and he writes about some of the things that have been going on. They've had a lot of political stuff going on recently, especially with their ousted leader, and then also they've always got the ties with North Korea. He doesn't really write about that, but you can sort of see it from how he's written the song that it's just general politics is what he's writing about. There's lots of braggadocious moments on this album. There was one line that I just liked and it stands out to me so much. He says, "I'm a living legend," which maybe to the rest of the world is just ridiculous, but in South Korea, GD Ji Young, he is probably the most famous idol artist out right now, and he has been for quite some time, so the fact he's saying "I'm a living legend" is probably not far off the truth. The piano just continues throughout the song, and it's combined with some synths, some really light drums. Overall, the instrumental is tremendous. I actually really enjoy it, and the type of style of this song, it is a true intro song. I don't think it would work anywhere else in the album. It is a true intro song. In my opinion, this is one of the better songs on the album. Anyway, at number 2 there is Bullshit. This is a trap-influenced hip-hop song, which is more in line with the G-Dragon character as opposed to what the rest of this album is really about, which is Ji Young. The hook is extremely catchy, if a little bit reliant on the instrumental. These incredible blaring trumpets play during the hook. Once again, Ji Young takes on the braggadocious character of G-Dragon, and it works really well for this song. I don't feel like he could have been too down to earth on this song, because it is the bop song of the album. It's the one that goes hard, it's one that goes heavy. However, I think at some points it's a little bit dull for a trap song. I don't know. I do really enjoy it, but at some points I feel like it's just a little bit too quiet, and G-Dragon doesn't get aggressive, especially given how boisterous the instrumental is. The third song on the album is my least favourite. This is Superstar. The instrumental has tropical house influences, much alike something by like Major Lazer or Diplo. For me, it's very uninspired, and the drums are incredibly flat, and I can't get behind the instrumental. I do enjoy G-Dragon's performance on the song as a whole. You know, he doesn't have many vocal parts on it, but I think it's more to do with the fact that I just love G-Dragon's voice. Overall, the song just feels a little bit lazy on the production side of things. It's just a little bit dull and uninspired. But when it comes to the lyrics, GD Ji Young, he's such a fantastic writer. He has this upbeat song. What does he decide to do? He decides to do like a contrast type thing. He's writing about fame and how lonely he is because of it. You know, he sometimes can't even leave his house. He just has to stay in all day because if he goes out, he's getting mobbed. And you know, he talks about how he's wanted this since he was a kid, but now he's just a bit like, well, I can't actually do anything. When I first listened to this song, I thought it was a positive song, and I said that in my first listen, and then people were like, oh, it's actually not. For me, that doesn't really change all that much. I still don't enjoy the song, and no matter how good the lyrics are, I just can't get behind it. I just don't enjoy the song, and that's a shame. But I assume it will probably be different from people who speak the language because they can get a better feel for it. But just looking at the English translations, for me, no matter how amazing Ji Young has written the lyrics, it's just not an enjoyable song for me. However, at number 4 is my favourite song on the album. It's the first song I actually listened to. I did my reaction to the music video not too long ago, only sort of 4 days ago. This is Untitled 2014. People told me the intention behind the number is to do with the year he was born, and then the month and the date in that month, and it all adds up to 2014, which is really, really nice, although it's a little bit random. It's supposed to be about his life, almost sort of like a biography. Anyway, the song is a beautiful ballad piece. GD's vocals are just fantastic. If you don't already know, I'm a little bit biased because I prefer GD's vocals to his rapping style. Therefore, I'm most likely going to prefer one of his more vocal-based songs than one of his sort of bop songs. Anyway, this is sort of like a love letter, apology letter to his ex-girlfriend, almost sort of asking her to take him back. When you look at the lyrics, it's beautifully put together, and there's some really, really nice wordplay, even when you translate it to English. The simple piano instrumental is such a nice break from these intense, blaring instrumentals that we've had so far, and it's just really simple and gorgeous, and it's put together so well. And this, for me, is what Ji Young does well. He can put together any sort of song, and the fact that he can put this on an album, it just speaks volumes for the talented musician he is. And I really, really like this song. It's probably going to be, you know, a top 10 song of the year for me. And finally, there is the outro track. This is such a weird title, Divina Commedia. Apparently, it's because GD based part of this album on a book going by a similar name, or if not that exact same name. And he almost wanted the song to sort of describe the book in a way. I didn't really get the full details of it, honestly. I couldn't really get behind the song. I didn't enjoy it all that much. The instrumental sounded a little bit like a Zelda theme, which I really, really liked, but it was so sort of far back and laid back and distant, and it meant the verses and the choruses had to be really, really good, but instead we got this weird sort of blaring, distorted voice every now and again, and then we'd get normal G-Drag, and then we'd get this weird, distorted voice, and I didn't like the sound of it. It was actually really sonically irritating. I do actually really enjoy the hook on this song though. I think the hook's great, very, very catchy. Apparently Ji Young didn't write this song for it to be a hit, or necessarily even to, you know, really sell or sound good, which I do appreciate, especially when I read the lyrics and I can see how much effort he's put into the words and what he's saying to his audience. However, just like Superstar, a bit like Superstar, people were saying that my reason for not liking it is diminished because he didn't want to make it good, or necessarily sell a lot. I just didn't like the song. I don't care really that he wasn't trying to make it really, really good. For me, it's on his album, people are paying for it. I didn't enjoy the song. I thought the production was a little bit boring and lacking. I thought that his delivery was almost lazy at some points. And don't get me wrong, I think Ji Young's lyrical ability is fantastic, but sometimes his delivery when he raps, it's almost like he's just talking, and I just don't enjoy that. However, he did have one absolutely brilliant line about the Truman Show, where his delivery there is actually really quite funny, and it's just stuck in my head since I heard it, where he goes, "If I don't see you, thank you." I might actually just play it. The reason I really, really like that line is because GD has grown up. Since he was a kid in public spotlight, you know, whether he was in that hip-hop group he was in the beginning, then he joined YG, and then when he was very young he debuted with Big Bang, and he's been in the spotlight for a goddamn long time, in a similar way to which the Truman Show represents Truman's growth from a child, and constantly in the spotlight and limiting and controlling what he does. And I think that's really what GD's trying to get across with this song, and I think that's a really, really intelligent way to do it, you know, comparing himself to Truman. And I think that was probably my favourite line on the album. That's really why I'm pointing it out. So even though I didn't like this song, I thought there were some good points. Overall, I really enjoyed this album. I loved 3 out of the 5 songs, which, you know, there was only 5, so it's a 60% win rate. However, the other 2, I don't hate them, not by any stretch. I just don't really enjoy them all that much, and they're the sort of songs I'm just going to skip over. I know this album broke loads of records, so I'd like to congratulate GD, not that he'll ever watch this, but congratulations. I think that's well deserved. You put in so much effort into your writing, and I genuinely think he's an incredibly intelligent guy. So I hope people understand when I'm reviewing this isn't a criticism of him. It's just a criticism, really, of the songs he has made here. He has so many good songs, so I definitely believe that these songs, some people will enjoy them. It's a personal thing. I just didn't enjoy them. It doesn't make them bad. But I can tell you one thing for sure. Untitled 2014, come December, will probably still be in my top 10, potentially in my top 3 songs of the year, because I really love that song. Anyway, this album gets a low 7 out of 10 from me. What do you guys think? leave it in the comments down below. What do you rate it? I'm sure there were people saying higher, and I'm sure there's going to be people saying lower. So just keep an open mind, and remember, everybody's got different taste in music. So thank you very much for watching. This is going to be Ginno, signing out. See you guys soon. Hey, thank you very much for watching that video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, why don't you follow me on Twitter and Instagram and all that sort. If you really enjoyed me, then why don't you subscribe to my other channel, Dylan Ginno upload vlogs and comedy skits there. Anyway, how do I end off these videos? Why don't I just, like fade to black or something like that?